So thank you guys for listening, and I'm very happy to introduce Manuel today.
Hello. You were not this many when I was sitting down there. Now I turn around and there are people standing and everything. This is one thing that is important for me to say is in an event like this is thank you for being here, because this is what cool people do on Wednesday afternoon. This is what we do. The cool people are here. Also, in poetry terms, this is a full stadium. You know, for a poet, this is a stadium full of people for a poet. So, thank you for that. We contain multitudes. Now, this space contains multitudes, and we do contradict ourselves and contradict ourselves and contradict ourselves. I want to talk a little bit about what it meant for me. To be the curator of this year, Mindful Poetry. First, for me, poetry is a triple act of communication with ourselves, with others, and with transcendence. The poet is communicating at the same time in these three ways. The poet is communicating with himself, herself, with itself, saying something to your own soul. At the same time, you are communicating with the soul of other people's. And then the magic appears when we are all gaining some communication with something that is beyond us, with something that was there before our words were there, and something that will be there after our words are gone, something that is rooted and seated in silence, something that can only be named as sacred. Poetry takes us there. If one of these three parts is not happening, if you are not communicating with yourself or with others or with transcendence, poetry is not happening yet. Maybe you have a really good essay, maybe you have a really nice idea, but the magic of poetry, the mystery, is still not happening yet. It is not a small act of magic to reach the ability of communicating with something that is beyond us. That poetry is a way for us to foresee what is beyond the body, what is beyond this existence, what is beyond this realm. For me, poetry, especially in times like the ones that we're living right now, is an act of faith and an affirmation of humanity. It is true that hate exists. It is true that offense and lies and suffering exist. But it is also true that love exists. It is also true that we exist. Each one of us here is not imaginary. Each of the things that were said in this book were felt and will be felt by those who read it. Poetry is not a way to say what we have in our heart. It's a way to take our heart out of our chest and put it inside of somebody else's chest so they feel what we feel. When I write a love poem, I don't want to say I love you. I want to lend you my heart so you feel all of the love that I feel for you. Poetry is happening. Love is happening in the poem, always in the present tense. And that's why poetry makes us always brothers and sisters. Poetry reminds us that we are siblings in creation, and not only among us, but we are also siblings with the rocks and the moss and the wild geese and the moon and the wind. We are siblings of all creation. And that is why, and I'm going to read only the first 4 paragraphs of my introduction to this book. Because we are in this family of the universe, poetry does not admit foreignness. It is a homeland and a common destiny for all human beings. No one is a stranger within its realm. All humans and all events of human nature nourish her, shape her. That is why the poem is a place and a state of being one reaches by journeying inward, riding or flying with the legs or wings of our own voice, which is at once individual and collective. Aboard the poem, we all arrive together as far as our imagination and love can carry us, which is to say, to infinity. We are living in times of noise and uncertainty. In the face of this, and within it, poetry is a space for silence and calm. A tool to gather the pieces of this sometimes shattered reality, to build from them a house in which one can live peacefully, being exactly who one is, what one is, in every way. I had the great pleasure and honor of serving as curator of Mindful Poetry Moments in 2025. And I have chosen poems in which someone comes to know or recognize themselves. These are poems that ask about the self and respond in loving joy to the eternal mystery we all see in the mirror every day. There are also poems written in a direct and simple language, which is what I prefer to read and to write. Thinking of young readers, their energy, their hope, the promise they represent for the future, I have chosen poems that affirm the self without being self-indulgent. They are complex poems, but their complexity is dressed in simple clothing. Love is what gathers us together. Poetry is a translation of silence. In this case, because that is all we can do, I believe, and this is just a belief of mine. When reality is beautiful, we have to respond with beauty, because it is the least that we can do. And when reality is horrible, we have to respond with beauty, because that is the least that we can do. We must always respond with beauty, with love, with light. Love is for the brave. Love is not for the faint of heart. We must love with the strength of steel and rocks, with the calm of rivers. We must love, and our love should be there, strong, not like a tiger, but strong like a mountain, just there to not go in anywhere. So to all of these young people that are there loving words and writing words and being vulnerable in these moments where it's so difficult to be vulnerable, I say, thank you. You are our strength. I am an adult and I have to protect my daughter. She doesn't know that when I'm sad, her smile is what protects me. Poetry is that, because that smile is strong. It's a cave in which we live. So to all of these young authors and to all of these adults that believe in them, I say thank you. Thank you for responding with light among the darkness. Thank you for creating a space for beautiful and fertile silence among the noise. And to all of you, welcome. Welcome to your own beauty. Welcome to your own words. Welcome to the house you are for others. Thank you.